Hello, my dearest friend. It is good to see you back on the mat. Today on Yoga with Paige, we have a very nice, gentle flow. We stay pretty low to the ground. This is perfect if you are kind of low on energy. If you have some lower back pain, we really focus on the spine today. So this will help improve posture, release some tension and inflammation in the upper back and shoulders, and can help relieve a lot of chronic lower back pain. So take your time, move gently, allow yourself to just release in all of these poses and find what feels good today. We don't need any props, but if you are a little bit more tight and you would like to have a block for poses like low lunge, grab that now and we can begin. Starting our practice today in child pose. So taking the big toes together and gingerly reaching the fingertips out, already sending our awareness to the spine, to the lower back. Feeling as we lengthen, reaching out with the fingertips a little bit more. Maybe feeling a nice stretch on the sides of the ribs. Allowing your breath to unfold naturally, in tune with your own body's natural rhythms. Maybe plant the forehead on the mat and really let yourself release on this next exhale. Surrender down into the earth. Still staying with your breath. Enjoying this little hug you're giving yourself. This time to be. Finding one more full breath. And then gently raise the head, keeping the right arm reaching out and extended, lifting the left hand and scooping it underneath the right. We're coming into a nice little twist, so creep those fingertips out to the side and kind of come into a little twist. Make sure you find what feels good to yourself here. We can make this really close and kind of reach under the right shoulder like me, or we can stay up a little bit, really pressing through this right hand and finding a more active posture here. We are just finding whatever twist allows for more connection, allows you to let go, not holding any tension in our bodies. Still taking full deep breaths. And whenever you're ready to switch sides, gently come out, plant the left hand, and scoop the right underneath. Finding the same twist on the other side. Really reaching out with the fingers as we ground down into the mat. Exhale, release. Soften where you can. On your next exhale, press through the left hand to lift the head. Gently unravel yourself. Creep the fingertips back towards the legs as we come to sit up on the heels. Finding your little thunderbolt pose, roll the shoulders back. And finding gentle seated cat-cow. So take these movements very, very slow. See which specific muscles you can feel. If you can feel the ripple effect as we inhale. Send the chest forward, really scoop through the back. Maybe let the hands float back towards the hips. And then exhale, round through the back. Really tuck the chin in and the pelvis. Gripping the knees, but the hands using that opposition to round even more. Flowing to the sound of your beautiful breath. Finding your last round of cat-cow. Our spine perhaps feels nice and mobilized now. Sit back up tall on the knees, then plant the hands, walking them forward, tuck the toes, and send the hips up, downward facing dog. Taking your time, bending one knee and the other as you press away from the mat, really gripping with the fingers. Finding length in the entire body as we ease into this resting posture. Keeping the big toes together, sending the hips up and the crown of the head towards the hands, biceps are by the ears. Visualize the length happening in your body. The decompression of the spine. And when you're ready, we find our static downward facing dog. Staying here for a few breaths. Being careful not to lock your elbows. If you have some hypermobility there, keep a slight bend, really grip through the fingers. Press away, nice, active. Sending the chest towards the legs. One more breath. Feeling strong in the shoulders. And gently take the right foot off the mat. Bend the knee and come slowly into a nice low lunge. Got some crazy hair here. Keeping the fingertips on the mat, or we can float them gently above, but making sure our knee is in line with our ankle. We're here for a few breaths. Really working to send the pelvis down and forward, keeping the hips nice and square, active in the core, engage the muscles. and just breathe. On this next exhale, release any tightness you are still holding on to in the hips. And this is where we can come onto a block. I forgot to mention, if we need a little bit more accessibility here. Planting the left fingertips, if you have them raised, on your next inhale. Peel the right arm up to the sky, big twist. And exhale, come back to center. Frame the right foot, tuck the back toes, and gently press back, downward facing dog. Taking another few breaths here. Maybe noticing that this feels a little bit different than our first downward facing dog. Taking big, full body breaths. And then gently raising the left leg, bend the knee, and the low lunge, release into whatever variation feels good to you. Fingertips on the mat or fingertips off. Still keeping our awareness at the spine, at the back. Thinking of expanding in every single posture. Where can we expand? Where can we create even more space for ourselves? Beautiful. And on your next breath, we find our twist. Left arm peels up to the sky. Squeeze the scapula together. Strengthening the muscles around the spine. Helping to improve your posture, especially if we are desk workers. And exhale. Frame the foot. This time, step the left back. Coming gently onto the knees and lowering down onto the belly. Sphinx pose. We come onto the forearms. They slide out underneath the chest. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Exhale, press away through the palms, lifting. Taking big breaths, nice and active in the legs, in the lower back. Gazing slightly in between the hands, trying to find a neutral spine. Feeling the heart center expand as we breathe. Opening the lungs. Exhale. Gently take the forehead towards the mat. Extend this left arm by the side, kicking onto the left leg. The right leg comes behind. So we're opening up through the front of the left shoulder here, finding a little twist in the spine. The spine loves twists. We can lay the head down if that feels better. Just one more breath here. And rolling back onto the belly. Keeping this right leg bent, coming into a half frog. So we want the knee in line with the hips and the foot flexed. And you can take whatever arm variation feels good to you here, maybe stacking the forearms. We want to press the pelvis down into the mat, opening through the hips. On this next inhale, think of anything that comes to mind first, that is no longer serving you, that you no longer need to carry. And on your exhale, consciously let it go. And lifting the head, extending the right leg behind, coming into our shoulder stretch on the other side, extending the right arm, kicking the left leg over. Breathing into the twist. And rolling back onto the belly, coming into your half frog on the left side. Checking your alignment. Actively pressing the pelvis down into the mat. Being careful not to crunch the neck. Coming back to the breath. Lifting the head, keeping this left leg bent, rolling onto the right leg and onto the right arm. Make a little pillow for yourself. Hand comes behind the base of the skull, and we bend both legs, reaching for the right ankle, the one that's on the bottom, so the left leg is bent over the top. And we find another twist, so make sure this might look different than mine, and if this does not feel good, we can always take a traditional supine twist with this bottom leg extended nice and long. This is just a kind of a little deeper variation, so listen to your body, take what you need. But if you're here with me, really try to pull the foot back. Being careful not to go too far. We still want to breathe nice and loving. Kind of gazing up at the ceiling. Finding one more big breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. And gently release. Roll onto your back and send the feet up for happy baby. Bending the knees, letting them fall to the sides of the body, reaching for the ankles or the shin or the big toes. finding a lot of support for the lower back here, especially if we have chronic pain in that area. This can be very soothing. So if your body is telling you it wants a little rock, give it a little massage. Actively pressing down into the mat. Letting gravity do the work for you. And whenever you're ready to gently take your spinal twist on the other side, roll onto the right. If you're coming into this cat tail pulling pose, reach for that left ankle. And anchor yourself with your breath. Letting the belly become big and full on the inhales. Maybe we hear some things moving around in there from all these twists. It's another benefit. Doing the body so much good today. Taking about 2 more beautiful breaths in your twist. And then we meet on our backs. And gently rolling there. And hugging the knees into the chest. Wrapping the arms around. Give yourself a nice little hug. Send your body, send your brain some love. I'm sending you love. And making our way to our final resting pose. Extending the legs nice and long on your next exhale. Letting the feet open to the corners of the mat. Arms fall by the sides, palms face up. Slightly tuck the shoulder blades underneath. Allowing your chest to expand. Closing the eyes. Allowing your body to feel heavy. And letting thoughts float away on the breeze. As we draw into the feeling body. We can gently begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes, blink the eyes open, roll onto a preferred side of your choice, and make your way into a seat whenever you're ready. But I thank you for joining me on the mat today, as this is where our practice together ends. And a healthy spine makes for a healthy body. And I am so glad that you allowed me to guide you in this movement today. I look forward to the next time we see each other. And if you enjoyed this gentle, slow flow today, I recommend checking this one out as well. But I look forward to the next time we meet, whether it be on the mat or somewhere else.